Next up, I want to talk about the location. There's a lot of really interesting little tidbits here. During development of the game, Square decided to use New York City as the setting after it had been previously considered, I don't know if you knew this, for use in Final Fantasy VII.
That wouldn't really fly too well. It explains Midgar.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, is it safe to assume they're talking about Midgar?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, if we're being honest, they're really shitting on New York. Then if they're comparing it, they're like Shinra fucking sucks, and so does this place. But that's a very interesting thing. I would love to hear more about that, about why they went away from it. I would imagine just the sort of element of fantasy would probably be too much to translate into Final Fantasy VII. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't really copy paste a lot of those elements. Like, what are you going to do about the weapons? You know?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about the meteor? What are you going to do about the freaking what's it called? The ancients place or whatever. Like, what are you going to do about all that stuff? Why do people use swords? And
it's going to be like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
It's going to be like all this like alternate history crap.
Yeah. It would just be, it'd be really weird.
You know, I did some reading on it, and they even had Mako reactors in New York. Like, they had that worked out. I mean, obviously it would be in the future.
Did they have Mako poisoning? Then too.
They had something higher have green eyes.
Yeah. Instead of soldier, where they called Marine. Like, come on.
Come on. It made me think of it though. Like, do you think possibly the whole Midgar thing? Because when I was playing, it always felt so disconnected. Like, Midgar was its own thing, and then like a normal Final Fantasy game started after.
Yeah.
Do you think something happened in development where they're like, we can't do a New York. Let's just get out of here, and we don't want to scrap all the assets.
Well, I don't think they could have gotten too far with it. Because there's only so much. New York is great, and if any of our viewers are watching and they're from New York, it's a great place, right? Or it's a beautiful place. But the I guess the scenery of it, like how you would do the scenarios and things like that, they can get sort of old quickly. You know, like I kind of feel like they did winter New York because that's the best time of the year. Or that's a more interesting looking time of year for New York.
Yeah.
With the decorations to offset how plain the buildings are, right?
Yeah.
And or not plain, but how, like, you know, they're just these big, like, bland structures at the end of the day.
50 skyscrapers, you know,
exactly. You see them and that's all you get. And then you have the snow that's sort of contrasting that. You have the Christmas lights, all that stuff. Like, it presents its own feeling. I definitely, when I was playing the game, I definitely felt that way. Definitely felt like it was Christmas for me, which kind of gives me the vibe that this is a Christmas game. Like, you need to only play this during Christmas.
Is this the Die Hard of Christmas era video games?
Exactly.
Everyone will be debating.
Play this game other time. Yeah, you have to play it when it's freaking December 1st. All right, day 1, day 2, December 2nd. That's it. You solve the shit by the 6th, and you're good to go. All right.
In my reading, there apparently are people dedicated to playing this game on like December 20th or like December 24th, and then they play each day according to the day. Yada yada, which seems cool. Like. Yeah, it seems really neat.
Yeah.
We're saying that sarcastically, right?
No, I think it's cool.
Oh, okay.
Because they do that in like Dark Souls. They'll have like world reset days where the community actually makes a new character, and then they relive that first sort of, you know, moments, you know, because like everything just it's a melting pot. After a while of playing Dark Souls, you're not going to always be able to invade these new guys or whatever the case is and whatnot. But if people come together as a community and create that stuff, it is kind of cool to see. It's sort of like that movement that's inspired by the community to branch out and do that stuff. I think it's neat. You can think whatever.
Apparently I shit on everything. See, I'll be the negative guy. You were worried you'd be the negative guy. This one, I'll take.
Oh, that. Just wait. Just wait.
All right. Next sentence I found also interesting. Parasite Eve was Square's first game to be rated mature.